Vincent, are you ready?
Vincent, yeah, roll montage now. Let's go.
Hello, Rapid TV. My name is Kunle Remy.
Hello, Rapid TV. My name is William Suchemba.
My name is Choma Chukuka.
Hello, Rapid TV. My name is Stan Nze.
Hello, Rapid TV. My name is Vivian Glam Gabriel.
Hello, Rapid TV. My name is Jide Kene.
Hi, Rapid TV. My name is Steve Chooks.
Best Afrobeat song will go to The Bunch and Snoop Dogg, Oliver Twist.
Piece of my heart, Whiskey.
Right now, probably Be Grateful by Fino.
My favorite Afrobeat song is Afrobeat.
I can't. There's so much.
It has to be one of our Rasta songs.
I love a lot of them. I don't think I have a favorite Afrobeat song right now. I cannot pick.
Aki and Popo.
Living in Bondage.
It has to be between Blood Sisters and Lionhearts.
I don't have favorite anything. I have favorite food. I have favorite colors. I barely have favorite any other thing.
Oh my God. Living in Bondage. The first one. I'm not a child.
Right now, a ghetto love story.
Okay, my favorite Nigerian dish would be
Banga stew with rice.
Come on now. Okwa.
Pounded yam and egusi soup.
Beans and plantain.
Is oha soup. Fufu and oha soup. Thank you.
Bread and akara.
bitter leaf soup with catfish and snail and fufu. Proper Santana. Apple.
Nnekedu keke ime. Idi sure na ede mma. Idi kwoi. Ilalo ofuma tata. Iteta iligo kwenni. Iman ndi gị n'afọ. You nwee ike mee things. You understand? Okay.
Good morning and welcome to today's edition of Rapid TV's continuously evolving social, political, and general interest show, Korero. Of course, I'm your regular host, Nkamiang John the Beloved, also known as the Controversial. Now, today's edition of the show can be classified as somewhat of a sequel to yesterday's conversation, but with particular bias for former Kaduna State Governor Nasir Rufai, who has been in the news recently for, you could say, all kinds of reasons. But for the benefit of today's conversation, our focus is on the APC Kaduna State chapter under Nasir Rufai, especially when he was governor, after he had slammed the party, saying that the party has abandoned its ideals. So it promises to be quite a conversation. But before we get into the conversation proper, as always, I'd like to remind you that the show is interactive, and all you need to do is follow and like Rapid TV on all social media platforms to get the opportunity to be part of the conversation and, of course, share your views and comments. Don't forget, our handle is @official Rapid TV, @official Rapid TV. And, of course, you can also take advantage of our WhatsApp portal with the number 0916-771-6035. 0916-771-6035 to also engage in the conversation. Like I like to say, even when the show goes off the air, the conversation continues online. And so that gives you the opportunity to be part of our growing online community. Okay? So now let's get down to the matter at hand. Former Kaduna State Governor Nasir Rufai has taken a swipe at his party, the All Progressive Congress APC, accusing it of abandoning its founding principles and fostering poor leadership. Now, Rufai made this assertion at a national conference in Abuja, the nation's capital, on strengthening democracy in Nigeria, as he described the state of governance and opposition in the country, in his words, as a national emergency. Now, Rufai lamented the lack of internal democracy and active party structure within the APC and criticized the quality of leadership emerging from political parties, attributing it to unqualified delegates. Pretty hard, right? Anyway, he urged political parties to set higher standards for candidates and delegates, noting that the Constitution's minimum requirement of a secondary school certificate should not suffice for party nominations. reflecting on the APC's foundation, El Rufai said the party was originally established to combat corruption, rebuild the economy, and enhance security. He, however, said these goals have been abandoned while using opposition parties to unite and form a broad coalition to challenge the ruling party and protect democracy. Well, I'm sure you are shocked as I am that he's urging the opposition parties to strengthen up against the APC, his political party. Well, citing a poll that revealed 75% of registered voters might abstain from the 2027 elections, El Rufai warned of an impending crisis and appealed to opposition parties to set aside their differences and form a united front to save democracy. Joining me this morning to give some insight into the APC in Kaduna State under the former governor, Nasir El Rufai, is a former state legal advisor, APC Kaduna State Chapter, and legal advisor, board secretary, Kaduna State Internal Revenue Service, executive secretary, Kaduna State House of Assembly Legislative Commission, in the person of Barrister Francis Koza. Barrister, it's great to have you join us this morning on the show.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much. Yeah. How was the trip down?
Well, it was safe, sound, and we are happy that the Kaduna-Abuja road is now being improved. And the movement.
You read my mind. I just wanted to know the state of security on that road.
Movement is flowing, the traffic is flowing, and the road is secured. There is a great improvement from what we are witnessing now and during the Buhari era.
Administration.
Yeah, as far as that road is concerned, in terms of the free mobility of vehicles and then security.
Great, great. I'm sure Nigerians, especially residents of Kaduna State who have business
in Abuja,
yeah, will be happy to hear that now they can freely travel.
Yes.
Well, let's get into the conversation. First of all, what's your reaction to all that has happened in recent times, especially with regards to the former governor, Nasir El Rufai, the comments he has made, both about the APC, about the current administration, and even the country in general?
Well, first of all, let me say that I am a founding member of the APC in Kaduna State.
Awesome.
And even before then, we had what we call Democratic Emancipation Movement. The aim of that movement was to unite opposing political parties against the PDP. I was the state secretary of that movement, and we did work tenaciously to bring all opposing political parties together, and that prepared the ground for the merger talks that emerged. In fact, let me tell you, even before the merger talk, we were the first group to organize a national workshop in Kagoro. His Excellency, the present President, Asiwaju, sent in Akande to represent him at that conference. And we discussed the modality for the merger process that was to take place. So when the merger became a reality that gave birth to the APC, we sat down and agreed on the basic fundamentals of how APC was to be run. Number one, we agree that the party constitution, the APC constitution, is supreme as far as party affairs are concerned. And that everybody, no matter your position, must be subject to the party. This, we agree that there should be supremacy of the party in all affairs as it relates to the party. Number two, we agree that the rule of law should govern every aspect of the party, and every member should subject himself to the rule of law. Thirdly, we agree that there must be inclusion. There must be inclusion because we believe that in every part, in every segment of the state, there are capable people that can rule the party, that can hold position in the party, that can contribute to the growth of the party. And therefore, we said, under no circumstances should a particular group, a particular ethnic group, a particular unit should hold power exclusively to the exclusion of others. So we agree that the principle of inclusion should be part and parcel of the running of the party. And so that is what we did. And that is what brought the first set of executive in the party. We observed all these principles. So the party was established on sound principles. The party was vibrant all over the polling units, all over the wards, all over the local government. And this is the structure that Rufai and others brought to power during the election. That was why we were able to wrestle power out of PDP in Kaduna State. So we're happy. We set up that structure and it worked. And I was an active participant of that structure. I contested the office of state legal advisor with 8 other contestants across the state. And I won. And other people did so. The Congress that produced the first set of the APC, we took 2 nights electing people before the elections were declared. It was free and fair. In fact, for all my years in politics, I have never seen a transparent state congress like that one.
Like that one.
Yes, everybody was given a free and fair ground. And so eventually we emerged as leaders of the party in the state. And so Rufai rose on that to become governor. It's unfortunate that immediately he became governor, the first 2 years of his leadership in government, yes, we still continue like that. But soon thereafter, he made a total U-turn on these basic principles of the party. Now, when Bantex, who was then chairman, emerged as the deputy governor, that gave him the opportunity to handle the party, to mess up with the party. Again, some of us who were in the party were appointed into one leadership position or the other in the government. And then, by virtue of the constitution of APC, there were vacancies. So instead of following the normal procedure to fill those vacancies, Rufai now manipulated those positions.
Wow.
And he took over. And then you will discover that those basic principles that we observe in setting up the first structure of the party, he abandoned them.
But doesn't the constitution of your party automatically makes him the leader of the party as governor in the state?
It makes him the leader of the party as governor, but it does not make him a dictator. His leadership is subject to the principle of the constitution. It's subject to the principle of the party. It doesn't say that if you are leader of the party, you will manipulate the party process. It doesn't say so. It doesn't say if you are leader of the party, you will ignore basic tenet of democracy in setting up structure. It doesn't give you the power that because you are the leader of the party, you will just appoint anybody you like. No, that is not. The leadership of the party is subject to the constitution of the party and subject to democratic norms and principles as agreed by the party. He abandoned that. So he abandoned the party as we set up the party. He abandoned it. And then again, what happened? The secretariat of the party now turned into government house. So the structure we had at the polling unit collapsed. The structure we had at the ward collapsed. The structure we had at the local government collapsed. And the structure we had at the state collapsed. Everything was abandoned, and the party was managed and run in government house by political appointees. And these political appointees were not politicians. Most of them came with Rufai from Abuja, from wherever. They don't know the local nitty-gritty of politics in the area. And so you hear them say, I am not a politician. I'm a technocrat. And so they destroy the party. So that is the stage of the party that you find that Rufai left in Kaduna State. And for Rufai to say that the party
has left its fundamentals, the founding principles.
The first person that should be accused, that should be held responsible for that is Rufai in Kaduna State. If at all the party had left its founding principles.
It happened under his watch.
It was worse. In fact, he perpetrated it. Not that it happened, he perpetrated it and ensured that it took place the way he wanted. He destroyed the party. So what is he talking about? And when I say this, I say it with every sincerity because I was and I'm still a very active member of the party. And when he did this, you discover that there are a lot of people left the party. Those that will form APC together, they left. People like Makaya Tokpak, a lot of them left. And they continue to leave, and they continue to leave, and so on. Hunkui, who was a very active member at the formation of the party, he frustrated him, and he left. So a lot of people left the party. We were seen, those of us who remain in the party, we were seen as lepers. They were trying to avoid us. But we continue because the point we were concentrated with the fact that APC was not Rufai, and Rufai was not APC. So that is what we try to explain to the people, that look, whatever Rufai, the excesses that Rufai is doing, is not APC. APC is different and distinct from Rufai. So we did that, and we continue until he left. And when we left, wow, everybody was happy. We are happy that.
So that accounted for the joy, I mean, unheralded. I mean, because there were news all over, reports all over, that there was so much happiness when El-Rufai left office.
In fact, we celebrated his leaving office.
Was his administration that bad?
Let me tell you.
Because one would expect for a highly celebrated former FCT minister that he would have brought his wherewithal to bear as governor of Kaduna State.
Let me tell you, sir, whatever policy and program you are executing in government, there must be a human face to it. There must be empathy. There must be some element of human face. El-Rufai's governance lacked human face. As much as he was doing, he was very brutal to people. He was very brutal. Look, if you want to cure something, it has to be gradual. Assuming something has been happening and suddenly you said this is wrong and you want to cure it, you don't just abruptly do it. You have to use some diplomacy. You have to use put some human feelings in it. Somebody has built a house and is living in that house for almost 30 years. He has no other accommodation. And you just come overnight and demolish it. And you demolish it. Do you remember, can't you cast your mind back and say, there were people who were in government who would have stopped him at that initial stage, assuming what he's doing was wrong. They didn't stop him. The man has built his own house and is remaining in that house for over 20, 30 years with children, has no other means of livelihood, and today you come and just demolish a whole estate. Is that governance? Even if you are going to demolish, make alternative arrangement. People were in the markets, egging their means of livelihood, and you just come and demolish the whole of the market, abandoning them. They don't have anything doing. There's no human face. So you expect that if you are doing things like that, you must put human face to your action. That will make the people happy. At least alternative will be found. You didn't make any alternative, and you are just behaving as if you are a mad dog.
So you're saying El-Rufai basically, for the 8 years he was governor, was a dictator?
He was. Sure. He was full of himself. El-Rufai believed that nobody knows anything except him. That he's intelligent, he's super intelligent. And so he will not listen to what people are saying. And that is why, even in a wider perspective, it was said there were no elders in Kaduna State.
Wow.
They won election. So the fact that you won election makes you the only elder. Is it a criteria that to be an elder in Kaduna State, you must win election? Very senior citizens who have contributed to the development of Kaduna State, who are respected, you say they are not elders. And so they abandoned him. And that is why he came out the way he came out. And people were celebrating when he eventually left on the 29th.
Today, in the political scheme of Kaduna State, where is El-Rufai?
El-Rufai is a leper. As far as politics of Kaduna State is concerned, let me tell you, anybody, whether you are a political party, whether you are a candidate, a prospective candidate, once you associate with El-Rufai in Kaduna State,
you're politically dead.
Totally dead. I'm telling you, you are totally dead. Nobody will support you. Nobody will support him. Because as far as I'm concerned, he has just destroyed himself politically.
Could that be the reason why he didn't succeed in earning a ministerial appointment?
Of course, certainly. Well, let's talk about, when you talk about Rufai's support for Tinubu.
I was going to come to that.
I have been a founding member of the APC, as I said. I was in the state executive council of the party, as I said. And when Tinubu showed interest, those of us who believe in Tinubu set up a state chapter of the Tinubu support group. I was the state secretary of that group. And we are mobilizing Kaduna state politicians to support the Tinubu cause. Rufai was not happy. Rufai came heavily on us and said, we dare not support Tinubu. He victimized us. Whatever he has done for us. And we said, no, sir, we don't need that. We ought to wait until he decides where he's going to pitch his tent with any gubernatorial presidential candidate. We said, no, you are different, we are different. So we suffer persecution in the hands of Tinubu. It's in the hands of Rufai, because we believe in the Tinubu agenda. And so he fought and fought and fought us. At the end of the day, when he discovered that Tinubu was going to win the primaries, it was at that point that he made a U-turn and now purportedly started supporting Tinubu. And that's truth. And because when Tinubu came to Kaduna for the first time before the congresses, Rufai, we took Tinubu to Government House to meet Rufai. The statement that Rufai made at that meeting was too bad. He completely indirectly showed that he has not support for Tinubu. He did that. And so, in fact, Ribadu, who came with Tinubu for that event, refused to go to Government House because Ribadu said he has already known Rufai. And so he said he was not going to. So it was Dogara, the former speaker of the House of Representatives, that we all went to Government House, and then he said whatever he said on that day. So that shows clearly that Rufai was not with Tinubu at that point in time. He just made a voter face when he discovered that Tinubu was the man to beat, and now he became to do it. So that is the type of thing, the person that Rufai is. And
so that incident probably gave birth to the what we had witnessed as the exchange of words between him and Dogara, the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, where Dogara had pointed fingers at him that, look, you've never really been in support of this administration.
He's never been. Right from the word go. It was just hypocrisy. That's just the truth about it. He was hypocritical in his support for Tinubu, and he was trying to survive. It was a survival strategy because he has gone. It was a survival strategy that he was adopting.
What is his relationship with the current governor?
Well, the current governor, they have been political allies. They work together. They work together, and Ubas work together with him. There's no doubt about it. But again, when people say that Rufai is Uba's godfather, I think they are wrong. Uba is already made politician. Uba is a grassroots politician as far as Kaduna politics is concerned. Uba has been a mobilizer in Kaduna State even before he becomes governor, even before Rufai becomes governor. So Uba is known by every person in Kaduna State. So even without Rufai, Uba would have been governor. I'm telling you, in the first place, Rufai never supported Uba.
Despite the fact that they are political allies.
Yes, he never supported. He has his own candidates. He had his own candidate to succeed him. But because of Uba's dexterity, he discovered that, look, he cannot be able to beat Uba, despite the fact that he was governor, if there's going to be a free and fair primaries. And because most of us have already pitched our tents with Uba. And and so, just like he did with with the president, with Tinubu, he now did the same thing. He now abandoned those he had earlier supported for governor to succeed him, and now come to say he's supporting Obasanjo. So let us be realistic. Whenever we're assessing the role of Rufai in the Obas government, we have to put in the right context to know where he was coming from. Uba is a grassroots man. Uba is a very good politician, unlike Rufai, who is not a grassroots person.
All right. The current governor of Kaduna State recently granted an interview, and that interview caught the interest of his predecessor, former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir Rufai. But let's see that interview, and when we come back, we'll begin to look at the intricacies of that interaction.
The opposition, in my own opinion, have every right to come out and speak about what they feel. And of course, as someone who have spent many years fighting for democracy, I was in the opposition for many years. During the military era, I was in the opposition, and I was also in the opposition during the democratic dispensation. So I can tell you that there's nothing wrong in opposing a sitting government. But what I'm saying here is that you must be able to be constructive. You must be able to oppose a government simply because you have seen something going wrong, or maybe there's something that you feel is not going right. But for me, I think most of the people commenting or criticizing this government, they have not been able to come up with alternative. If they say the government is doing A, B, C, can you come up with something that is an alternative? Don't just criticize without coming up with something. That's the reason why I believe they are just opposing the government for the sake of power, not because they believe the current president or the current government is doing something wrong. If you look at the policy of this government, I can tell you, you can see that things are getting better. The president inherited a very bad economy, like we said, but you see, of course, he has not come out to complain for a day because he's a good leader. He focused on his own job, and he also asked all of us to focus on our job. Sitting here, nobody is coming to complain about how we inherited the system. We are focused on what we can do to better Nigeria. And I can tell you, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has a lot that he is doing to move this country forward. We are working closely with him as of nationals, and you can see some of the policies of the government. Some are painful at the beginning, but I have no doubt in my mind it's a matter of time. Okay, let me say it here. I know I'm from Kaduna, and I'm the governor of Kaduna. So when I came in as the governor, I can tell you the issue of security in Kaduna was really bad. We have about 4 local governments that if you go to Kaduna, you cannot even enter those local government without security. And most of our people there are farmers. They don't go to farm any longer. Our markets were closed, some of them for 10 years, and there was a lot of problem in security. But today, I can tell you, because of the support of the current government, our partnership with the Office of National Security Advisor, 4 local governments in Kaduna State, namely Benengwari, Giwa, Igabi, and Kachia. I can tell you today we are having relative peace in those local government. And I can tell you also that more than 200 people that were kidnapped before I came as a governor have been released. Our markets that were closed for 10 years have been opened. So in Kaduna, the most important area of focus is security, because if we don't resolve the issue of insecurity, we cannot be able to have any meaningful development in education, in healthcare, in agriculture. Knowing fully that agriculture contributes about 42.8% of our GDP. Today, I can tell you, our farmers have gone back to the farm. Our business people, particularly the petty traders in the villages, are now doing their businesses. And most importantly, our people can go back to their house and sleep their eyes closed. That is the most important thing. For me, I must give credit to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because the result of this, the reason why we are getting this result is because of the collaboration between our state government and the Office of the NSA. That is number one. Number 2, most of the intervention we are getting from the federal government in the area of agriculture is something that is unprecedented in the history of Nigeria. And whether we like it or not, whether you are in APC or in the opposition, you must give credit to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Again, when you look at most of the policies of this government that affects of national directly, you must give credit to the federal government. So
I hear you, Governor Sani.
As far as I'm concerned, yeah, I can tell you that it depends on how you look at it also. For me, when you are making very important reforms, sometimes, like I told you at the beginning, most of these reforms are painful. There's no doubt about that. But as we are speaking, we're gradually getting the result of most of these reforms, including the fuel subsidy. When I came as a governor, let me be very frank with you. Without the remote fuel subsidy, I want to be blunt here, it could have been difficult. Most of the governors coming out to speak here, whether they're APC or PDP, most of them don't want to tell the truth, because every governor in Nigeria will tell you that his allocation has increased. That is number one. For someone like me, coming from Kaduna, every month I always have 4.7 billion deduction from the fact because of the loan I've inherited. And without the subsidy, there's no way I can pay salary in Kaduna. That is the issue, the remote fuel subsidy. That's number one. Number two, I can also tell you that, look, if you talk about the fact that there's inflation, that cost of goods are going up in the market, today as we are speaking, only 2 months ago, the bag of rice was almost 117,000. But go to Benengwari as we are speaking, the bag of rice today in Benengwari is less than 60,000. That is progress. And I can tell you, by end of this year, certainly the bag of rice will come down to almost 40,000 or thereabout.
Now, former Kaduna State Governor Nasir Rufai posted that interview of his successor, Governor Uba Sani, with this quote, and let me quote verbatim what he said. Kaduna updates. When you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however probable in the truth, is the truth. End of quote, Sherlock Holmes. And he went further to say, every day I see this governor embarrassing and psychophatically rambling. I used to wonder why. However, confirming that federal government reimbursements, interventions, and grants in excess of 150 billion naira have been given selectively to Kaduna by Tinubu in the last 18 months now explains everything. By all means, defend Asiwaju for the conditional cash transfer. Asiwaju has earned it. Coming from you, the people of Kaduna State will judge at the right time and place. Have a nice day. Hashtag concerned Kaduna citizens. End of quote. Barrister, I deliberately took this quote because I want to hear your reactions. Because right now, the former governor seems to create the impression that he still has the backing of the people of Kaduna State. I mean, hashtag concerned Kaduna citizen.
That's a great illusion. It's a great illusion. And he has discovered, he's just trying to play to the gallery. And when you talk about governance, I agree that seriously, those of us in Kaduna State, when you compare what was tenable during the Buhari Rufai era regime and the present government, Tinubu Uba regime, there are some clear things that nobody can deny. Number one, the improvement on security of lives and property in Kaduna State. Seriously, during the Buhari Rufai era, nobody could go to sleep. In Benengwari, in Zongo-Kataf, across the state, everybody lives in perpetual fear. Nobody could go to earn any living because of the insecurity. The attacks were frequent, they were massive. There were burning and killing and maiming of people all over the place.
Wow.
I'm telling you, we experienced it. In my village, for instance, we had 3 attacks. My elder sister was shot. Her mother-in-law was killed. Her co-wife was also killed. And 2 children in the same house. It was so bloody. And in the midst of this, Rufai never showed empathy to the people. Rufai never visited. The only thing is a task statement by his Commissioner for Internal Security, Samuel Arwan, that government is going to bring perpetrators to book. That's all.
But have they brought the perpetrators to book? Or did
Who are the perpetrators?
perpetrators?
Would they bring themselves to book? Who were the perpetrators? They were the perpetrators. So they couldn't have brought themselves to book. So when Ubasani and Tinubu came on board, and with the appointment of General Christopher Musa as the Chief of Defense Staff, I am telling you, you can go to Southern Kaduna, you can go to Birnin Gwari, you can go to other local government areas in the state and sleep. And sleep. Just like His Excellency the Governor said. He said people can now go about their businesses. And it's true. Markets have opened. People engage in social activities. When I went home during the Christmas, we hardly could sleep. People were jubilating and celebration all over the place. This is something that has eluded our people during the Rufai years. And so security is so fundamental that the people of Kaduna State are enjoying, and they will always show appreciation for that singular act. When you talk about infrastructure, Rufai concentrated his developmental stride in Kaduna North, most especially, where he built roads.
So it wasn't spread across Kaduna.
We can't deny that fact, that in Kaduna North local government area, he did massive development of roads. There's no doubt about that. They are physical, and the roads are good. You can't take away that from him. But these roads were concentrated in Kaduna South, in Kaduna North local government. When you go to Kaduna South local government, you see abandoned projects. Go to television, go to Narai, go to Sabo. They are all abandoned projects that are there. And not to talk of the rural areas. Ubasani today has infiltrated the rural areas with massive road network, with development. And that's where the people live. The people don't just live in Kaduna North. The people live in the rural areas. And they want to see development. And they are now seeing it. They are now seeing it. They are enjoying peace. They are seeing physical development. And so what do you want? They don't want again. They go about their normal business. So they are happy. And therefore, 2027, anybody who oppose either Ubasani or Tinubu in Kaduna State, he will see it.
But what's the opposition like in Kaduna State?
The opposition is dwindling. You know, during the Rufai era, people were moving out of APC to either PDP, to Labour Party, and so on. They were massively. They were moving out of APC. But today, people were leaving APC, people were leaving PDP and Labour Party to APC. On a daily basis, APC in Kaduna State receives a lot of decampees, many decampees. And so the opposition in Kaduna State is being weakened by the day. It's being weakened by the day. This is a fact. We have seen people in the House of Representatives that are moving to APC from PDP. People from Labour are moving to APC. Why? Because they are now seeing glaringly that, look, Tinubu and Ubasani meant well for the people.
So invariably, come 2027, it's going to be a full swoop for APC.
2027 in Kaduna State is a done day for APC. Seriously, I mean it.
It's still Rapid TV's continuously evolving social, political, and general interest show, Korero. Of course, I'm your host, Nkamian John, the beloved also known as the controversial. And today on the show, our focus is on the APC Kaduna State chapter under Nasir Rufai when he was governor, and especially after he slammed the APC, saying the party has abandoned its ideals. It had shifted from the fundamental principles that brought the party to bear. Giving some insight into today's focus on the show is a former state legal advisor, APC Kaduna State Chapter, and legal advisor, board secretary, Kaduna State Internal Revenue Service, executive secretary, Kaduna State House of Assembly Legislative Commission, Barrister Francis Koza. And he has given us, he's taken us down memory lane. You could say he's a political historian or custodian of the evolution of the APC in Kaduna State. Once again, Barrister, thank you for your time so far on the show. But some individuals have reacted to the former governor's post about Governor Uba Sani. So, like this gentleman with the handle Mock Kure, and he said, and I quote, he said, Your Excellency, during your inglorious days as the governor of Kaduna State, we experienced darker politics compared to what you are complaining about today. While Bashir Saidu, your golden boy, who is facing trials for theft, has spent barely 34 days in detention, there are people who you held captive for over 6 months for exercising their freedom of expression. Find the number of days your junta gagged some citizens. And he gave a long list. The list is almost about very long list. He talked about Luka Biniyat, 185 days. Stephen Kefasen, 162 days. Dr. John Damfulani, 22 days, and was also sacked from KASU.
Kasu.
Yeah, Kasu. Adara Elders, about 103 days. And he listed all the elders, like that. But he concluded by saying the lives of your people in detention are no more precious than those of the people I have mentioned above. You attributed their predicament to the judicial process. Yours are going through the same. They should wait for the verification period to resume. You can't blackmail the government into violating protocol and endorsing the documents your men presented. Let the clock keep ticking. These are weighty allegations against El Rufai. You were in that administration. Did the former governor actually perpetrate this act?
What Mok Kure said in that article or post is nothing but the stark truth.
Wow.
The stark truth. What he said is true. In fact, even personally, I was involved in trying to get people out of detention. Luka Biniat. Luka is from my village. We are from the same village with him. When he was suffering, we went to talk to him. We went to try to mediate, at least to allow him some level of freedom. He was not. And so what Mok said is the truth and nothing but the truth. And it's very unfortunate that these people were not charged to court. They were just kept like that.
In detention.
In detention. And the difference between the El Rufai time and the present time is Bashir. I know Bashir very well. Bashir was state secretary of the party while I was state legal advisor of the party. And so I know him very well. Now when the House of Assembly investigated the activities of the past government, of the El Rufai government, they came out with a report that indicted some of them. And this report was sent to the security agencies, who further scrutinized those reports, and they have now gotten some evidence that will enable them to charge these people to court. And they have done that. And they were picked up and charged to court. They were arraigned in court. And when they were arraigned in court, they applied for bail. The court granted bail. And the court imposed conditions, like any other condition. The court will always impose conditions.
Conditions, yeah.
Before, because to give the court an assurance that you will always be in court whenever the matter comes off. So it is not an abnormal thing. It's the normal thing that court does. And at the end of the day, if you satisfy the bail conditions, you are let to go. If you do not, you remain in detention until you satisfy. If you feel that the bail conditions are onerous, that you cannot be able to satisfy them, what the lawyer normally do is to go and ask for a review of the bail condition. And if the court grants a review and you satisfy them, you are set free. So your inability to satisfy the bail condition should not be blamed on anybody, but on you, because the court has granted you bail. And as a legal practitioner, I know that is a practice. That's what we do. So if the court grants bail to my client and we are not able to, and we feel that the court can vary the conditions, we apply to court. And the court will look at it with reasons that we can give. The court may or may not review them. So if the court reviews, good for us. If it doesn't, then you have the option of going on appeal. To go on appeal. So the process is very clear. So whatever has happened, at least just like Mock said, it is far better. It is the rule of law is more protected, is more observed during this regime than during the Rufai's regime, as far as this whole issue of corruption and trials are concerned. That is the true position. And again, let me say this. When issue of corruption comes up, investigations are carried out and then decisions are taken. And that is exactly what has happened in this administration. But in the past, during the 5 years, they will just carry you up without even telling you
what your
offenses are or what they are holding you for. And they will carry you up. There was a clear breach of the principle of rule of law during his time than now. So let them go and defend themselves. If they feel they are okay, let them facilitate the trial. Let them submit themselves to trial and ask for accelerated hearing. And I want to assure you that as a legal practitioner for over 35 years in Kaduna State, I can attest to the integrity of the Kaduna judiciary. I can attest to the integrity of the Kaduna judiciary, especially the high courts. The judges, to the best of their ability, are upright. And they do their best to observe the cardinal principle of rule of law in the administration of justice in Kaduna State. So nobody has any fear, any cause to fear, if he submits himself to the jurisdiction of the judges in Kaduna State. And he is sure that he's going to get justice at the end of the day.
Well, Barrister, at this point, I really want to thank you for making our time to have this conversation with us. You have shed a whole lot of light. We are seeing a totally different El Rufai from the El Rufai that had been so highly celebrated as FCT minister. And this goes to tell that, in the words of the wise, power corrupts and corrupts absolutely.
Yeah.
And we can only hope that future generations, especially in Kaduna State, will learn from the pitfalls of the former governor, Nasir El Rufai.
Seriously, I will just say that the El Rufai regime in Kaduna State was a disaster. It was a disaster. As far as the party structure were concerned, El Rufai totally destroyed the party structure. And this is the structure that he brought to power. And because if we don't have a vibrant party, how can you run government? How can you run? Because in Kaduna, in Nigeria, there's no independent candidacy.
Yeah.
We all have a political party to struggle. But we thank God. We thank God that Obasani is restructuring the party, is strengthening the party for against 2027. And when we are there, you will see the results.
Thank you so much, Barrister.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. And of course, at this point, this is where we sum it up for today's edition of the show. Special thanks to you as well for, as always, allowing us to be a part of your morning and a part of your day. Trust us, as always, to keep our ears to the ground and our searchlight beamed on developments as they evolve. As you can see, our searchlight in the last 2 days has been on Kaduna State and evolving developments. And that's how we continue to bring these issues to the front burner. I am Nkamian John the Beloved, also known as the Controversial, signing out. Thank you so much.